Hey everybody, what's up? It's the random name 951, bringing you another quick review video. Today, um, this one's going to be a game related instead of a Gundam review video. So, recently, one of my friends went to the thrift store nearby where we live, and actually, came up on a pretty good deal, I would say. So, went to the thrift store. I likes to collect, that video games and stuff. And he's like, oh, dang, man. He's like, he saw this. And it was in a little plastic baggie with these three games: Super Monkey Ball, Jimmy Neutron, and Finding Nemo. And then he's like, yeah, man. He's like, he texted me. He's like, hey, man, I found this at the thrift store, man. It's only $7.99. Is that a good deal? I'm like, dude, damn right, that's a good deal. And so he bought it. He didn't know if it worked, and I didn't know either. But I mean, these Nintendos are pretty indestructible, honestly. These little Game Boys, they've survived the battle. They survived the war. See a lot of Game Boy Colors, and they have their problem with speaker blown out, or they're just missing the back cover to the battery, or some scratches. But overall, the Game Boys, they're pretty indestructible. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so today I'm gonna do a little review video on the Game Boy Advance SP. And I just want to say a quick little shout out, thank you to Wilson for buying this. It's really awesome. I had one, and back then, and I actually sold mine and sold it to my niece and nephew, and that was probably the worst idea I could have done. I got it back from them. It was all busted up. The screen had a big blue line, like dead pixels right in between of it. And I got that Game Boy Advance SP AGS-001, which is basically the first release of the Game Boy Advance. And then I think about like later within the year they released another version of the SP. It was the same SP, but it had a brighter screen, and it was classified as I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if I can zoom in. There it is. So model number AGS-101, and this one was classified as the AGS-101 because brighter screen. And I was kind of thinking about, like, brighter screen, and it's going to kill your battery quicker. But it's actually pretty good on battery life. I haven't tested it fully, but I was playing it. Charged up pretty quickly. It just kind of sucks that the Game Boy Micro, they couldn't include Game Boy Color compatibility, because then you would have, like, the best of both worlds, playing Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color. And then the Game Boy Micro, I think, has 3 or 4 modes of different brightness, and it's just a really awesome console. But it's just, the real big downside is it doesn't play the Game Boy Color games. That's another story for another review. So back on track. So here we have the Game Boy Advance SP AGS-101 model. I'll show you how the Game Boy looks. Overall, it's got wear. The owner who had it was a kid. They didn't play with it anymore. They got rid of it. They're like, I don't want this, mom. I don't play this anymore. And surprisingly, found out at a thrift shop. And surprisingly, it's pretty clean in a way. Like, I know you see all these scratches on it, and some fading. But overall, there's no big, like they dropped it or anything. It's probably basically on hard surfaces. Maybe they placed it on concrete once in a while, or it was, it shows a lot of wear, but surprisingly the stickers are still on there. The barcode's faded, but you can still somewhat see it. And I mean, it's really good. They took decent care of it. I know most kids would have broke their SP, or worse, just scratched all up and all that. But I mean, overall it's good. The buttons are in perfect condition. No scratches on the buttons. Sound works great. The screen has a couple scratches and nicks, but I mean, it's nothing bad. I'll show you how it looks turn on. So the difference between the AGS 001 and the AGS 101 is when the backlight or the front light. So on the AGS the first release of SP, basically, it was just so awesome because it had its built-in backlight, and you had the option to either have it off, like there was no backlight, or have it on, and that's probably why it was one of the best Game Boys, because you had both backwards compatibility and Game Boy Advance compatibility. You finally had the backlight, and you didn't have to get like a warm light or anything. And it was really compact, so if you want to store in your pocket, voila. It's not like the DS where you fold it and then it goes in sleep mode. But the Game Boy games did have a lot of options for sleep mode. So basically, you could just put your game in sleep mode if your battery's going to die, and it'd be good for a couple of days just on sleep mode. And the Game Boy Advance SP was really I would say, a game breaker. It made a lot of Nintendo fans happy. So here's the basic start brightness, and here's the secondary brightness. You see that? It's pretty bright. And I gotta admit, this is a really awesome Game Boy. I'm really happy to have one again, because I bought one a while back from a city nearby from this guy off of him for like $20. Came with the charger and the Advance SP. And smart enough, I kept the charger because I did not have a Game Boy Advance SP charger, and it's also used as a Nintendo DS charger for the fat ones. But yeah, this is going to be a keeper. I'm going to keep this in my collection, it's just an awesome Game Boy. There's so much you could do with it. You got your charger port, you got your cable link, you got attachments that could go on it. Best thing is you got both compatibility, and to top it off, you got the screen, the backlight screen. How high would I recommend this product of Nintendo? Very high. It's probably like a 9.5 out of 10. I don't know why it got really dark right now. The clouds are coming over. The clouds. But let me turn my light real quick. But it's a really good product. The only downside is compared to the Game Boy Advance SP, the Game Boy Advance, they didn't have room for a earphone port, but there is attachment where it goes in, I think, here, and you could attach earphones. Another excuse me. Another thing I didn't like about the Game Boy Advance SP is you're too crammed when you're playing. For me, you have to have your hands really close. And with the Game Boy Advance, the original one, they're spaced out enough where it felt comfortable. And I felt like, for me, it feels like my hands are cramped when I'm playing this. There's really not too many downsides. It's portable. You don't have to worry about pressing buttons while it's in your pocket. It's pretty lightweight. It's a good shape. It's not really big or anything, really small. It plays both Game Boy Color and Advance games. It's just awesome, man. The Game Boy Advance rocked. This came out. All the good games came out. Like Pokemon Emerald, Ruby. There was Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission. There was Fire Emblem. What was it? It was Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. I love that game. There was so many good games on the Game Boy Advance. It's just this is a must-have if you're going to be collecting those games and replaying them. If you look on Craigslist or eBay, you could find them. On eBay, in this condition, on bids, you're looking from $20 to $29, depending on the color too. A lot of people like the flame red, which is a nice color, but it's a very subtle color, very nice. I remember when I got my SP a couple months later, I'm like, what the heck? They have another one, brighter screen. I'm like, that's so dumb. But actually, if it was between the AGS-101 and the 001, it's hard to say, but let's see here. This is pretty tough because I would kind of pick the AGS-001, the original one, because you get more battery life by turning off the backlight. But with the AGS-101, you get the better bright light, especially if you're playing like in the sun, you're getting glare on your SP. And the AGS-101 came in a lot more colors as well. They even had like a special edition NES kind of Game Boy Advance SP, but I don't see that one very often. I don't know. It would be hard for me to pick either the 001 or the 101. They're both greats. They just, one difference is the screen. If you want to, conserve your battery life, and you don't like playing with the backlight on only if when you need to, then go with the 001, the first release of the SP. But if you like the backlight, you need that extra light when you're playing it, and if you want more of a selection of colors, go with the AGS-101. I mean, that's about it. They're just really awesome little consoles. I think that's about it, guys. So that's my review on the Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP. Like I said, I give it like a 9 out of 10. The only thing it's missing is a headphone port, and I feel like it's too cramped when playing, but that's why it's so small, so they can make it portable. But yeah, guys, yeah, everyone, that's going to be it. Just want to say thank you for watching videos. Oh, and another thing, since I got my Game Boy Advance SP, a while back I was thinking about filming or recording some playthroughs of Pokemon Yellow since I got it in the mail. I'm going to try doing that because I was trying to do it on my Game Boy Color with a warm light and it wasn't looking so nice. So I'm thinking about doing it on here, see how it comes out. And yeah, I'll be doing some more review videos soon. I've been too lazy and it's been like nothing's been coming up. Been buying all these Legos, but I don't know if I want to do review videos. I might do a couple. But yeah, guys, that's enough for me. See you later in the next video, and thanks for watching.